What's up, people? This is your boy Levelhead, and this is the Live and Level Gamers Podcast, episode 136. This was supposed to happen last Thursday, but unforeseen things caused us to have to postpone to this Sunday, which was we didn't want to do it Thursday. So anyway, we back. I got K-Bun 20 with me. Keith Norris will be jumping in here a little later. Hopefully D2K might jump in. Jedi Knight won't be able to make it today. But yeah, we're here to have this podcast. We missed a lot of stuff from last Thursday, but we're going to catch up today. But before we get into all of that, man, what's good, K-Bun?
Yo, what's up, man? I'm ready for this podcast. Had a good little service at church today with my teenagers, so that was fun. Got some food in. I'm fat and full right now, but I'm ready for the podcast, man. First Sunday without football, so I'm trying to learn how to cope with life now because this is gonna be difficult. But we can get some podcasts in instead, so I'm down with that.
You can turn on the game and watch LeBron and my new squad put it on the Celtics right now.
Man, that ain't football.
Anyway, did y'all didn't have ice y'all way? Did y'all have any ice this morning?
Yeah, we had some ice this morning. So late for church, had to clean up the car, so I was actually a tad bit late. But it wasn't as bad as they said it was going to be. It was supposed to be pretty bad, but it ended up not being so. The road was actually clear.
Yeah, we ended up canceling service. I got more older folks at our church, and I ended up getting called into work, so it worked out.
Oh, for sure. That.
So I just got off work about 2:40, 2:45. I got to the house. So that's abnormal for me to work on Sunday. But anytime at ice and stuff like that, we got to go out, part of that crew. So, but yeah, I'm here. But yeah, man, Friday, bro. Friday.
Thursday for me, but yeah.
You get a day early?
I'm getting it. Oh, I thought you were talking about the movie. My bad. Go ahead.
Yeah, the movie.
No, I'm seeing it Thursday.
Oh, that's right. It come out Thursday. I
said
Friday. So Thursday is the day. It's going down. Dashikis.
Afros.
You know what I'm saying? The pick with the black power fist on it.
Yep.
It's going down Thursday. Black Panther will be hitting the theaters this Thursday. I'm trying to take the whole family, twins and all out Saturday morning.
For sure.
We probably gonna be taking turns missing parts of it. But yeah, it's happening. I'll probably end up going with my aunt and my mom too, so we can get a little
help. Yeah, get a little help.
So we'll be at be going to see the Black Panther, man. You ready?
Bruh, I bought my tickets the first day they were available for sale. That's how ready I am. This is a black holiday for me. I don't care what nobody say. This is a holiday. I need to take off work. This is some serious stuff, man. Like I said, I bought it the first day they were available. I am as ready can be.
I'm just hoping it don't snow, man, because we supposed to get some snow. I think that Friday. So I'm hoping we don't get none. But yeah, I'm gonna probably be out because I want to be able to talk about it. So I can't be sitting up here, y'all unseen it, and I ain't seen it. So I'm having to wait to have a discussion. So I'm going to see it. I'll probably get my tickets Friday, and we'll probably go to a matinee that Saturday morning.
True that.
So, but yeah, I'm hearing all good things though.
Yeah, I'm hearing good things too,
I'm hearing all good.
The critics actually like it. That's pretty cool. Some of the early showings of it is really good. I've seen a lot of people say that this movie it's a change of pace for Marvel because it's not just a superhero movie; it's a movie trying to say something. I didn't look too much into it because I didn't want to know any of the true details, so I didn't check to see what they meant by it's a movie trying to say something. But I know I definitely saw a lot of good things that I like from some of the early comments and some of the other early critics reviews of it. So.
Okay. All right. Yeah. I've been hearing all good things. Actually, I've been hearing that it's exceeding the expectation. It's thought. it was going to be. That was Keith letting me know. So I guess he might be in shortly. But it's exceeding people's expectations above what they was expecting it to do, man. They saying it's one of the highest better Marvel movies, man, because of what you just said, the storyline and pushing going be what they normally the norm, you know, almost
Right.
like Civil War. Not Civil War. Well, Civil War and Winter Soldier is in pace with those.
Yeah, Winter Soldier. Yeah, that was the movie.
So anyway, as y'all can see, I'm kind of breaking because I'm watching my Cavs put it on the Celtics right now. But anyway, let's get into it. So hopefully Keith jump in here soon. But what you been gaming on, bro?
Well, I've been gaming on. Yeah. So I jumped back into because I'm trying to go ahead and finish it. I'm trying to go ahead and finish Horizon Zero Dawn. I feel that like the story is getting really close to the end, so I've been working on that, trying to get close to finish it. I still like it. They still have some issues with, you know, some of the voice line and stuff with the story mode, you know, but some of the characters aren't as well developed as they should be. But other than that, it's a really good game. It's really fun. I like it. It's not the best more Sony game I've ever played, but it's like I said, it's definitely a really good game. Well made outside of some of the story issues or the cutscenes. I guess the best way to say it. Especially after playing The Witcher. You really see some of those issues when you play a game like that. So I'm playing that. I popped 2K in Horizon Zero Dawn.
What game was that? Okay, Horizon. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, Horizon. Yeah. It has some. It's just the issues is in like the cutscene. They're not well made, especially when you look at people like what's their name? People who did Uncharted, you know, and how well their cutscenes are. I mean, they've done some amazing, and even how the cutscene so far of God of War looks. That this kind of fails in comparison to that. It's pretty much what I'm going to say. But I've been playing that. I've been playing. Who was that? A little bit of 2K. I started back playing that. I played a couple games with my bro.
Okay.
And it's okay. I mean, I'm happy I stepped away from it because the people on there people who still playing is actually they're trash. Just don't know how to play actual basketball. It kind of sucks. Been playing that and then playing Madden, and I'm actually been playing a lot of Overwatch. As I said before,
okay.
It's not
Overwatch.
Yeah, man. Like I said,
that's 2 years, bro. You ain't it?
2 years, man. I told you, man. This 300 something hours, man. It's like I love shooters. I will always have some kind of first person shooter game. Always. If it wasn't Call of Duty, it was Destiny. If it wasn't Destiny, it was Division. You know, it was always some kind of shooter. I guess Division don't really count, but I always had some kind of shooter that I would play. And Call of Duty has become trash, so it's not even on my radar anymore. And Battlefield, I never really gave that a chance. So that Overwatch has been my stuff, so I've been playing it for 2 years straight, pretty much.
Okay, man. So okay, is that it? Any more?
Yeah, that's it. I know I tried I tried Fortnite a couple weeks ago. It's not my cup of tea, but it's still breaking records. I'm hearing.
I actually finally finished downloading it. It was in a stalled state.
Okay.
I ain't have enough space for it to finish download, so I cleared out some of my stuff, and it finished downloading it actually 2 days ago. I haven't played it yet though.
Okay. Yeah, you have to tell me how you feel about it because it's breaking records apparently, man. It's doing some big things. That very similar to PUBG.
Okay. Now my son kept bugging me about it. Like, man, you got to play that Fortnite. You got to get that Fortnite. I guess his friends talking about it at school. So I had already downloaded that night. Me and you I was on there with y'all with the whole NBA 2K, but I didn't realize I didn't have enough space for it. So it went into a pause mode until I cleared up space, and then it downloaded on its own. And I was like, oh, okay. So I'll probably try it out sometime this week. I give it a whirl.
Man, you gotta go ahead and get yourself a hard drive, man. That's what I did, man. Forget that native 500
Yeah,
gigabytes,
but
man.
I ain't got enough games on the PlayStation right now to be
Okay.
honestly concerned about it. But I just got off games I ain't played and games I already got rid of that I ain't even cleared off my drive yet.
True that.
Which was I got rid of what was it? NFL Madden 17.
Yeah,
I still got it, but I ain't playing it, so I cleared that off. Some downloaded games I got off the demos. I cleared it off, and between all that, it was about 80-90 gigabytes of space that I cleared. So I'm good for right now. But so Overwatch, man, I can't believe you still on that hard. That's
yeah,
cool.
man, absolutely.
I've been gaming on, man. This has been a light week for me in gaming. Actually, I downloaded all the Double Dragons on the Switch. All right. The arcade version. I'm a Double Dragon fanatic. You know who I'm talking about. We Double Dragon heads, man. So now the arcade version, the original one. So I downloaded it. And then I was like, I've been wanting to get the remake, the newer one, Double Dragon 4. So I went and I downloaded it, and he came over. I want to say Thursday night he came over, and no, it was Friday night. Friday night he came over and we played Double Dragon 4, and we played as far as we can get. The game was freaking long. It's longer than I would expect a 2D beat 'em up to be. And it's freaking hard, bro. It was, man.
It's hard?
We made it. It's hard, man. We made it. I think we was about at the last stage. So Dragon, they throw out the mini bosses 4 or 5 at a time. You ain't. It ain't like you fighting little peon dude soldiers are of the group. You fighting like the Bobos and all of them, like 5 of them at a time. And it's like, bruh, you can't knee them, roundhouse them, elbow them enough. It just ain't enough. So, and we was kind of rusty at Double Dragon anyway. So we both played until we didn't have any more continues. And we was like, man, I'm tired of playing. I don't want to go through this again. So we put the controllers down. But we supposed to get back up to try to beat it this time. So
now what system did that originally come out on?
Well, this was Double Dragon 4 was actually just made. It wasn't. It was
made. See, that's what I'm trying to find out. Okay.
Yeah, they made Double Dragon 4 in like paying homage to the original Double Dragon Revenge. Okay. That game, Dragon Revenge, but they made it like last year or the year before. So it's a new game. Double Dragon 4 is a new game, but it's an indie game. And it was basically to pay homage to Double Dragon Revenge and the Double Dragon series. So it's on the PlayStation 4 too. You can get it on the PlayStation 4. It's on the Switch. It dropped in the eShop in the Switch a few months back. And also it's on the Xbox as well. I think it's even on Steam if I'm not mistaken. But it's a decent game, man. I'm enjoying it. And so we played that. So we've been on beat 'em up, side scroller beat 'em up craze. I also downloaded Art of Fighting 2. And dude, that game is ridiculously hard.
Art of Fighting.
Art of Fighting is an SNK game.
Okay.
Dude, I didn't realize, like, D2K knows exactly what I'm talking about. I didn't realize how hard the arcade version of fighting games were. Like, there's a different way the arcade plays versus when they made the version for the home.
Okay.
The difficult level is to take your quarter. That's what it's basically. It's not based on, we give him a couple of easy fights, and then when he get to the third and fourth person, then it get difficult. No, the first person body, the first person is going to test your skills, and man, I couldn't get past the first person. He couldn't get past the first person. He's like, dude, this has got to be on the hardest level. I was like, no, bro, it's on level 4, bro. We just either suck or this game is hard. And we came to the conclusion it was not us. So played a little Doom, not a lot. Played a little Doom this week. And that's been about it. I turned on my PlayStation 4. I didn't play any games. I downloaded, like I said, that Fortnite. I mean, is that what it is?
Yeah.
Is it Fortnite? Yeah. I downloaded that and cleared off a lot of stuff out of my off my hard drive. I haven't been on Assassin's Creed in a while. I'm trying to wonder if I really was enjoying the game or was I lying to myself because I ain't turned it back on. So I might go up there and try to rekindle that and see if I really was liking the game or was I lying or one. I don't know. But I've been having an itch to either get Horizon Zero Dawn or the remaster of
Shadow of the Colossus.
Shadow of the Colossus. I seen some
that is
gameplay of it.
That is on my list. That is on my list. Active Gamer. What that was following him on Twitter, and he tweeted out something saying, "Why can't we get a Zelda game to look as good as this?"
I saw it.
And I was, and I was surprised. So I tweeted him back saying, asking him, does it really? Does the Shadow of the Colossus really look that good? And he was like, "Yeah, it looks legit."
Was that a pro? Was that pro or was that just a regular?
I'm not sure. I didn't go into details. I just, wanted to see from his point of view, did he really think it looked that good? And so I'm probably going to end up renting that game. Probably not going to buy it, but end up renting that game. Cause I wanted to play it since the PlayStation days back. They came out PS2 first. Yeah, PS2 the first time it came out. Excuse me. And I wanted to play it. Now I've got around to doing it. Didn't get around to the 3D or the PS3 remaster version because I didn't think it was that big of an upgrade. But this one, I'm hearing great things about it, so I'm probably gonna hop on it in.
Okay, I have never played any other those like Eco and Colossus, and I think it's a third one, isn't it?
Yeah, The Last Guardian.
Is it a third one? I don't want to play Last Guardian. So anyway, but I might try that Shadow of Colossus. So. Is that what it's called, Shadow, or what's it called again? Some Colossus. I can't remember the name of it. But anyway, yeah, I'm thinking about getting that, man, because
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
My bad. My music kicked on my phone. It flipped me out. Yeah, it's called Shadow of the Colossus.
Okay, Shadow of the Colossus. I might pick it up, man. So don't hold me to that, but I'm thinking about either that. I've been still thinking about getting am I ready to get Double Dragon? I mean, not Double Dragon, but Dragon Ball Z Fighter. But I'm kind of trying to wait and see if there's going to be any revisions or stuff like that. So it might be down the road before I pick it up, but I plan on getting it. Oh, man.
It's nothing but good things about it, man. It's nothing but good news about the Dragon Ball Z Fighter one, man. And they said,
yeah.
The curve really isn't that steep. It's one of those games that's
no, it's not. I played
kind of easy to get into, but hard to master. One of those games.
Yeah, I played it. I played the demo on the PlayStation 4, so
okay.
It's definitely a fun game. It's not technical like Street Fighter, where like your moves is depending on if you can manipulate the D-pad right. Some moves are mapped to a button and it automatically triggers. So. It's definitely a fun game, but it does take some skill to know how to chain all those moves together to make it look like he go from this move to that move to that move to this move. You really got to know how to do that in session. So, but I'm still waiting on picking it up. That's a game that's definitely going to get bought by me. I'm just not in that mood right now. I'm gonna get it probably a month from now. I'll probably have it. So anyway, man, that's basically been it, man. I'm trying to stall for Keith to get on here because there's one topic I want to make sure he's here for. But anyway, let's move on to some of these topics, man. So let's start here. And I want to ask the question, now that you got the Pro, before we get to our main topic, because we got, before we get there, because I'm trying to give Keith time to get here for that one.
No problem.
Do you feel like now that you got the Pro? I was listening to one of my favorite podcasts, and I heard something here, and I heard this other places as well. They talking about the PlayStation 5 now. They talking about a possible Xbox, new Xbox coming somewhere 19, 20, somewhere around there. Some even saying 21, looking at how the PlayStation 4 is selling. Sony might not have any incentive to move to the PlayStation 5 no time soon with how the regular 4 is selling, and I guess even the Pro. But the question was, what can they offer on the PlayStation 5 that would entice you over what we already got? Meaning, we know that they can't go 8K. You know, we know that 8K is not realistic. Is the only thing that could be done, or what can be done to make it enticing, and it is the only thing they can do is focus on frame rates. Meaning, we got 4K with the Xbox One. We have the PlayStation 4 doing its own rendition of 4K, but none of them do 60 frames. Is that the next evolution? Is that the next marker? 4K 60 frame, and if that's the case, is that enough?
Wow. That's a really good question. Man, that's a really good question. What I guess what carrot can they dangle in front of gamers to get them to move over to a new PlayStation? Or are we referring to just PlayStation or just like any of the two?
Any of the two. I mean, well, we could leave Nintendo out of this.
Yeah,
Nintendo
they just
already said
yeah.
7-year plan with their system. So
right.
But I'm sure they got upgrades in there. But yeah, go ahead.
So thing is, graphics is always going to be. Well, let me not say always. The plan is for graphics to kind of move the needle along as the systems move. That's kind of been the moving needle for a while now. It's kind of graphics. Well, but what we are getting with these newer systems is online infrastructures and stuff like that. And I think, to me, one of the biggest things to move forward is something that they used to do that they have to continue to bring back. And I think that will give people a nice cushion and incentive to move over. And it's one of those things that's kind of not, people have strong feelings about it either way, for it or against it. But I think if they really want to move people toward the new system, I think making it comfortable for them and giving us backwards compatibility is a first step to do it.
Okay.
I really think that's a comfortable place to allow people, because if they had a 5, and PlayStation 5, and they gave me backwards compatibility, I wouldn't be hesitant to jump to a 5, because that means
so backwards compatibility will be the incentive.
One of them. I'm not. It's not the golden ticket.
Okay.
It's not the golden ticket. But what I'm saying is if the 5 had that, and then the 5 didn't really do anything amazing, I wouldn't be mad, because I still have all my games that I can play on the 4. So it's not really that big of a deal with that. So that's how I'm looking at that point of view. But the thing that I really would think would kind of help, I think graphics is one of them, but also an integrated system. When I say integrated system, I mean a system that kind of it's an infrastructure. It's similar to Microsoft, but how Apple does it. How you can start something on your iPhone. This is not games per se, but like a document. You can start working on a document on your iPhone, go pick up your iPad and pick up where you left off, and then go into your MacBook and pick up where you left off. So it's kind of this integrated system that follows you where you go. And I think if they did that, and so what I would see them doing is um, being able to allow you to do that in almost any place. Like I said, it's similar to what Xbox is doing, but it's a tad bit different, and it's a tad bit more to it. But the fact that this system will allow you to kind of move along, and wherever you go, your progress and your games kind of follow you.
Mm.
So like if we were playing the Xbox and I wanted to pick up it, so it's like the Switch, but it's more of a system, of an integrated system, and not just a device. So that
Okay,
means
I
so
got
that that means even on my phone, they integrated with the phone, so that I can use my phone to play some games or play some things, or I can use my even use another mobile device to do stuff like that. So it's more of a it's not just so I'm not just talking about PS5. I'm talking about an integrated system that allows me to move along, move as my games to move as I move. And I think
you.
that would be a big selling point for these. And I think that's the logical place these games can go. These systems can go, especially looking at the popularity of the Switch and how its mobile feature is one of the biggest reasons to buy one. And I think the other guys can deliver that, but I think it would be more of a infrastructure around it to do it than just a device, if that makes sense.
I'm with you. I'm with you. So so to me, what you're describing basically is like Apple, like how iTunes and all that work.
Hmm.
Anywhere you go, once you sign in your name, all that's there. It's all there. You don't have to. I went over a friend's house studio, and he just got him a studio, and he's asking me to show him some pointers with his program, which I wasn't used to Cubase, so I couldn't not Cubase, but Studio One, which so I didn't know enough about it to really be of any help and service to him, but because he had an Apple, I think it wasn't a Mac, it was the all in one. Everything is inside of the actual monitor. Which one is that? Which Apple is that?
I don't know the name of it, but I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah. So he had that, but since his phone had Apple, he has an Apple phone, he has an Apple laptop. So when he signed in on the computer, everything where he has anything that is Apple related pulled up on that new computer. He's like, man, that's what I love about it. He's like, I don't have to go to my phone and hook it up to my computer and transfer this over. If it's in some Apple app, it's going to show up on that computer, even if he downloaded it on his phone. Everything else has access to it, just
It-
like that.
yep, exactly what I'm referring to.
Okay, so that'd be dope because I'm really seeing, and we talked about it. We brought the question up, and yes, I'm stalling for Keith, y'all. So just bear with us because I want Keith here for the Nintendo part. So just bear with us because I know K Bum don't want to be just listening to me talk. So so uh 4K has ran its course. Two, another thing we got to look at is 4K TV is not catching on as fast as 720 and 1080 did. People is not as mesmerized by the whole 4K. People are actually satisfied with 1080p.
Me being one of those people, and I've talked about how much I love graphics, and I'm still sitting here with a 1080p TV. Granted, most of it is because my wife said I ain't getting another TV yet, but the other part is I think 1080p is perfectly fine, and I haven't seen a reason to upgrade. So yeah, I agree with you.
Yeah, I transition from upstairs to downstairs. My TV down here is a 1080p 60 frame. I mean 1080p 120 hertz Mitsubishi projection screen actually. Back panel, that's what I would say. 3D ready. It's pretty dope. I go upstairs, that's a 4K HDR ready TV, 55 inch. I'm gonna tell you, this TV down here is right at 7 years older than the TV upstairs, and this TV down here still look good, even though yes, the TV upstairs is better, and in some cases noticeably better. If I said that right, my tongue got twisted, but it's not so much better that it makes this TV unbearable, this TV ugly. This TV still looks good to me. So it ain't like going from a standard definition to 720p. It ain't even 4K ain't doing that to 1080p. See what I'm saying? So that ain't enticing as much. I don't think 60 frames per second, we supposed to be getting that now. So I don't think the 60 frames per second is enough, because actually that's what they hyped up with these current systems, not 4K.
Right. We supposed to be getting 60 frames per second since the PS3 days, actually.
Right. So it got to be the angle you and I'm gonna go down the path you said with the whole backwards compatibility. It wasn't until these platforms that backwards compatibility became something that wasn't that wasn't realistic. Like, especially with Nintendo with the Switch, which they had to cut out backwards compatibility because it had no disk drive. So, but we always enjoy backwards compatibility with Nintendo products, and up until this point, that was something that we enjoyed on other systems. But I don't think that should be a selling point, backwards compatibility. I really don't. It should be a standard, if anything. So I don't really know what they can do, honestly, to entice folks to go to the 5 outside of it just being a newer system. Because I really don't. I don't know what they can do. I really don't. So it was a cool thing. Is 60 frames per second 4K enough when we already supposed to be getting that? So I guess the only thing they could do is to do what you talking about, K-Bum, is some integrated system where I can game anywhere, and it's really like, but that's digital based. That's if I'm downloading all my games instead of buying the physical. Because if I still buy physical, how would that work?
And I think they should still be able to do it physical, because if you actually look at if you give you like a code to download it digitally in other places, and it would be the combination of digital and physical. It's the only way you would be able to do that.
Okay.
You have to combine the two so that you can have both. Just like how they did, back in the day when the Blu-ray was coming out, and they had all those streaming services where you can had the actual physical movie, but then you can download the digital version for your phone or iPad or computer and stuff like that. So I would, to me, it would be similar to that, because it costs no extra money to make it digital, really.
I guess I see what you're saying. Okay. I guess I'll just leave it at that, because I mean, so what about, okay, if I buy the physical, we gotta download it, we upload it. I don't know which one it is. Is it uploading or download? It's downloading it. Is it uploading into your system?
Download.
It's download. Okay. So we download. So let's say if they created a system that's integrated, like you saying, I buy a physical copy, I download it to my PlayStation 5. Should then that be able to be accessed through all my other devices, PlayStation 4, whatever else they come out with?
Yeah, I absolutely. And the thing is, they could have it so that it actually is works with two different ways. You can actually connect directly to that service. So they're kind of doing this. So if you look at the PlayStation Now, they can do something similar to that. I mean, you're playing PS4 games, and like I said, you can do that.
So go into PlayStation Now, because I'm not as familiar with PlayStation Now as you might think. So go ahead and explain.
No problem. So PlayStation Now is a streaming service, a video game streaming service. So instead of playing your games on a system, you're playing them off of a server. And so there's some issue with lag, but they're still working on fixing some of that. If you're planning on to get good connection, you won't see it. And even the PlayStation does allow you to play your PlayStation remotely. I've done it several times with a really good connection. I was in a different state playing my actual PlayStation at my house because they have the remote play, and I was playing it off my PC. So they have even pieces now that they can do that. You can do a server base like PlayStation Now is, or you can do actual your actual PC, your actual PlayStation 4 or 5 through a remote app. And you can even set it up so that your phone can do the remote app. And and now you're pretty much mobile for the most part when it comes to that. And so that's kind of what I'm referring to, the integrated system, but they have to put it around it. So if you do it through PlayStation Now, if you buy the physical and they give you some special one-time code that you can only use for your system, and then you have to use that same one-time code to get the digital version. That'll allow a person to have both the physical and the digital. So when they are not at their system, they can use the streaming service to play that game, and that information is stored on the cloud. Whenever you save and stuff like that, and in the game, it's all saved to the cloud, so you can continue playing anywhere.
All right. Let me ask this, and then we can move on to a different topic. Looking at the situation now with the PlayStation Pro and the Xbox One X, should they have held off on the 4K stuff until the newer systems, or was this jump needed? What I mean is, did they shoot themselves in the foot or make it that much harder to sell their next device by jumping to the 4K market at the time that they did? Or should they have waited and tried to use that as the draw for PlayStation 5 and the new Xbox, whatever?
I'm not sure. I don't know if it's paid off or not. This is now, understand, this is our first year with mid-gen consoles.
Yeah.
So I don't know if it's paid off yet. I don't know if they shot themselves in the foot. This is actually something that's going to work for them in the long run. And so I don't know. I think for me it's too early to say. I mean, they did kind of make the next system kind of harder to show growth because of the fact that they have these mid-gen systems, and so now you're not looking directly from what the PS4 OG can do to your next PlayStation 5. You're looking at what the Pro is doing versus the PlayStation 5, which is a different answer. Because you've already done 4K, and so you can't really do. It's a different meter.
4K. Can you say real 4K now? Like, okay, now we really doing 4K?
No, you can't. So, that's like McDonald's saying that they serve 100% beef. What was you serving me in the first place? You can't now say you served me 100% beef. What was I eating if it wasn't 100% beef? That don't make me want to eat your food now. That's how I feel.
So going with this. And we're gonna move. We finna move to the topic, to the main topic here. We in good time. So go with this. Okay. So you kind of, in my opinion, with the whole 4K move, you kind of did make it that much difficult for you to push the whole 4K narrative.
Yep.
It's like with the PlayStation 4s, the PlayStation 3s wasn't really doing 1080p, and they really didn't push 1080p. They pushed HD. But we all knew it was 720p upscale to 1080p, but they wasn't saying it's 1080p. That wasn't what they were saying. They were just saying it's HD. With the PlayStation 4 Pro, that's 4K. With the Xbox One X, that's 4K. So you shot yourself in the foot there because you don't have that brag or that stat or that marketing I don't know what you would say, that marketing pitch
angle.
Yeah, that you can't pitch 4K now as the reason to get it. Nor can you say what VR, cause I think VR is a done deal. So if it ain't integration, am I saying that right? Integration.
I don't know. I never heard that word, but that's cool.
Y'all know what I'm saying.
Integrated.
I made up integrated. If it ain't integrated, and I don't really know how Sony could do it. I can see how Microsoft could do it, but I don't really know how Sony can do it, because that means you got to make more devices to do it. Right?
It all depends, because the PlayStation 5 could not be a system but a server like that you put in your house. So we're still thinking it as being a box you play video game that you put disc in. That doesn't mean the PlayStation 5 has to be that. It can be a system that you play games off of, but not something like a actual device that has the power inside of it. Just like when the Xbox talked about the cloud computing. They can do something like that and have it be a box and have all that computing done through the server. Granted, well, I mean, that's a different angle. I'm just looking at this at different angles. So,
well, I'm looking at it like Microsoft. Microsoft has the devices. They have the phone. They have the computers. They have the laptops. They have the Surface Pro. They have all this stuff in the Xbox. All this can be integrated with each other.
Integrated.
Can communicate.
Integrated.
Integrated.
Yeah.
I said integrated, didn't I?
Yeah.
Anyway,
it's all
integrate with each other. They can speak to each other, communicate with each other, and share information. Whereas Sony, you don't have that. But you got to create that.
Let's not forget, Sony does have phones.
They do got phones.
Sony has phone. Sony sold their PC division, but it doesn't mean they can't partner up with someone to do it. So Sony has TVs. Sony also has other kind of mobile devices. So they're not completely out the game, but Microsoft does have a one-up on them.
Okay. So reason I said I can see Microsoft taking advantage of what you're talking about in a better way than I can see Sony at this moment. But I'm with you. If anything is going to be pitched, that would probably be the pitch. And Microsoft is already, in my opinion, Microsoft is already setting themselves up for that.
I agree.
They've already put that in motion, whereas Sony went with the VR, and I don't want to make this conversation any longer than what it needs to be. I think Microsoft is in position, so when they do come out, that will be a natural progression. What you said will be their natural next move,
right?
Like Apple product, like what they're doing is you can already see they trying to compete with Apple with the Surface and all that stuff. So it would make sense for Microsoft to be like, dude, we're just going to integrate all these devices and make one ecosystem where they all can exist, and our consumers buy this product and they have access it. They can access it anywhere, anytime, any place. And that way they don't have to do a switch thing. They got it through you already having a computer, you already having a laptop. Whereas Sony, they got that many more hurdles to jump to get there. And I don't know if they have prepared themselves. What do you think about the president stepping down? That's another question. Then we get to it. We're going to switch up. President, what do you think? Yeah. The CEO stepping down at Sony.
Well, this is the first time I heard it.
You ain't heard about what's his name, man? Hold up, I'll find it. But yeah, he stepped down as the dude that took over not too long ago when Sony was about to be sold off.
Ain't talking about Kai. What was his name?
Kazurai, is that his name?
Yeah, Kazurai. He stepped down? What?
I think so.
Oh man, my bad. I must have missed that news.
I'm looking it up. I'm typing it in now. Hold up. Want to make sure. I know it's happened.
She said Sony CEO stepped down. Kazurai. What? I didn't know.
Yeah, he stepped. You Sony guy don't know Kazurai over the ship, man. Gave over the steering wheel, man, to somebody else.
Bruh.
How you don't know that K20? Sony on this podcast.
Because life is hard. I didn't see that one, bruh.
Yes, in a shakeup that caught Hollywood by surprise, Sony co-chief Kazurai will hand the CEO reins of the Japanese electronics to his what's his name? Yoshida?
That's the other guy that's been coming up. Yoshida, yeah.
I don't know how to say his name. I know I say his last name. So what do you think about that? And we're gonna move over to our main topic. Hopefully Keith get here.
Wow. Again, like I said, I'm off guard with that because I didn't know about that at all. But I know Kazurai put a lot of work in, man. He put a lot of work in when he was there, and he made some big moves and readjusted Sony to be in a good position where they were. But yeah, I didn't know he was stepping down. I'm quite surprised by that. I mean, it's not like they were struggling and they had to make moves in order to, for money's sake and stuff like that. He just finally stepped down. Okay. Yeah.
I'm curious. I'm curious what all that, but they called it a shakeup. So I ain't know if that was just a play on words or he just tired of it and ready to spend time with family, or they didn't feel like he could take them where they needed to go from here. They thankful for what he done up to this point. But where they want to go from here, maybe that ain't his strengths. I don't know. So I'm curious to see where this goes from here. So
anyway, I am too, apparently.
All right, I thought you knew that. But anyway, So let's move on, man. We gonna talk that. Let's get on to Nintendo stuff. You ready?
I'm ready as I'm ever gonna be.
So one of the big to-dos this week was the whole shouts out to Dr. Trey. He discovered this on LinkedIn. He found a LinkedIn post where a guy was talking about an unnamed game that he was working on for the Switch or for Nintendo that was a first-person shooter / action adventure, right? And he works for Bandai Namco. And he named 3 games that he's working on. 2 were exclusive to the Switch, which was this game. And then he announced that they're also working on a Ridge Racer 8 exclusively for the Switch. And then the other game, I don't know if it even gave a title, but it was for the Xbox and PlayStation 4. So when Dr. Trey released that, of course, other people started to pick up from his video. It caught the eye of Game Explain. It caught the eye of several other more notable, more touted YouTube channels, and even some big websites covered Dr. Trey's discovery. So after that, it was basically confirmed, I think, through NeoGaf or whatever it is. I don't know if it's or Eurogamer. I think that's who it was. Eurogamer basically said that, yes, it is indeed through their sources and what they found out that Bandai Namco is indeed the ones working in collaboration with Nintendo to produce this Metroid Prime 4 title. So my first thought is this, man. You know about Bandai Namco, and you know what a first-person shooter, we'll leave off the adventure part, just the first-person shooter aspect of the game. Do you see Bandai Namco as a suitable developing studio to work on this game based on what they have made in the past and based on what is needed for a great, just on the FPS aspect, the first-person shooter aspect? Do you feel like Bandai Namco is a good choice or a good fit?
Yeah. Okay, so I guess this is why we needed Keith on this conversation, huh? Okay. Yeah. The thing is this, man. I after playing Horizon Zero Dawn, I don't really take anything out of consideration when it comes to what a developer can do, because understand that Guerrilla was a first-person shooter franchise with Killzone, and the fact that they made
Okay.
this action adventure game, Horizon open world game, I would not have thought it. Absolutely would not have thought that they would have been the ones to make a game like this, and to make it as beautiful and as clean, and as fun as they did. So that caught me off guard. So I'm not going to go off and say that just because of who's making it that they won't be able to get the job done, because I definitely would have said that with Bandai Namco. But with that being said, I don't know if this is who you really wanted to lead your big franchise. I don't know if this is would have been your first choice for him.
Mhm.
I don't like I say
Okay.
I don't think it would have been for me if I was the one in charge making the choices. But you know, when it comes to money and stuff like this, I don't know. I'll let you rebuttal real quick for that on that point.
Well, see, okay, it's twofold for me because first of all, I'm not gonna lie and say I was thrilled to hear that Bandai Namco was the developing studio working on this game. I'm not gonna lie, that did not sound great to me. It didn't sound great at all. I was like, no, this is not whom I'm thinking of when I'm thinking of Metroid Prime first person shooter, what Metroid Prime was, what Metroid Prime is, and what I hope Metroid Prime to be. Bandai Namco don't seem to be the company that I would trust with the title. Now, don't get me wrong, Bandai Namco has done some great things in the past for Nintendo. They worked on games like some stuff for Mario Kart, and you wouldn't expect them to be able to do that and pull that stuff off. They worked on, I think, some stuff for Smash Bros. If I'm not mistaken. So it's not uncommon for Bandai to work with Nintendo in ways that you would think will be outside of their realm of expertise. Like they worked real close with the Smash Bros. I think they developed it in conjunction with I can't think of his name right now, the main guy who makes Smash Bros. That's why I want Keith here. Keith will know these points that I sometimes don't keep in my mental Rolodex. But if you know who I'm talking about, the dude that works on the Smash Bros for Nintendo, the one that basically almost killed himself from overworking. Y'all know who I'm talking about. Give me his name in the down the chat if you could. Yeah, I'm looking at it. They talking now. Let me know who that is. Sakurai. Thank you. Who was that? Thank you, Cornelius. I appreciate that, bro. Y'all keep a brother sound like he know a little bit. But Sakurai, he worked on that game with Bandai Namco, and it is what it is. And then back in the day, I don't know if you know this, K-Bum, the Legend of Zelda Wind Waker was actually worked on by Capcom. If I'm wrong on that, let me know in the comment section. I think I'm right on that. That Wind Waker was actually made by Capcom, if I'm not mistaken. Somebody let me know. Hurry up, I'm down here. I'm looking. Type something real quick, man. Let me know. I need Lurkin or Cornelius or somebody. Let me know if I'm wrong on that with Capcom making the not Breath of the Wild, but Wind Waker. I think I'm right on that. But K-Bone looking there and see if they say yes or no.
Yeah, I'm watching it.
But yeah, so they worked on that. So it's not uncommon for Nintendo, and I think Bandai did some stuff with Star Fox as well. I'm throwing out, I'm vague on this, but I think even they did one of the Star Fox games as well. So it's not uncommon for Nintendo to work with third-party companies to produce some of their games. But I still feel like Metroid Prime and Bandai Namco, I ain't gonna say it can't work, But let me say, not Wind Waker, but the other portable versions of Zelda. I thought they did work on Wind Waker. I thought they had some dealings with Wind Waker. But okay. All right, cool. I know they did something with some Zelda. So thank you. Who was that? Heart and Soul 72. Thank you, bro. So it's not uncommon for Nintendo to work with third-party companies. But, bro, I don't know. I don't know, man. But here's the caveat. Here's the thing that I hold out hope. The group that's working on the game, actually, is a large portion of them came from the same studio that was working on Star Wars 1313.
Really?
Yes. So the studio that's working on, the studio up under Bandai Namco that's working on Metroid Prime 4 got a lot of the people who were responsible for building that game we saw that we all fell in love with, that was Star Wars 1313 before it got shut down. They are Sparian or something like that. I think that's what you call it. I can't say it. I don't know if I'm saying it right. Sega did F-Zero. Thank you, Heart and Soul. I think Namco did a VR Mario Kart. That's true. We talked about that before in the podcast. So anyway, I appreciate that, Heart and Soul. So yeah, they have former Star Wars 1313 developers working on the Metroid Prime 4 game. So with that tidbit of information, does that make you think a little bit differently about it, or still the same?
Like I said, I wasn't leaving them out that they could do it, but it still doesn't give me a warm fuzzy when it comes to, because you understand, I mean, this is a huge game for Nintendo, and it doesn't give me warm fuzzy that this is the company working on it. So, I mean, that's how I feel. It doesn't really change it, but I wasn't doom and gloom in the first place.
Okay. See, I mean, I just thought it was an internal studio that was going to do it. If it wasn't,
yeah, that's why I thought it was going to be internal. That's why I'm surprised that is not.
Okay. So as I was looking at this announcement, I got to thinking about something, man, and which led me to title this podcast what is titled. Where is Nintendo wasting IPs? Now, like I said, I've been trying to stall for Keith to get up in here, but I don't know if he's gonna make it. I'm hoping he make it somewhere in between us talking about it. But I just was looking at it, and we talk about this a lot, but I just got to thinking about it, man. It's like, okay, we're bound to see a Mario title. Every system that Nintendo make, we're going to see some entry into a Mario platformer, right? We are bound to see some type of Zelda. Like even with the Wii U, we got Wind Waker remastered. We got up HD version of Twilight Princess. We got some type of Zelda game. And we got Hyrule Warriors, right? We got Smash Bros. We got Mario Kart. We got Splatoon, which was a new IP. But there's IPs, and there's one particular IP that I feel like Nintendo is just wasted. And that is Kid Icarus. Now, to me, and I know, K-Bum, you don't have as big of a relationship with Nintendo and its IPs, so this might not irk you or bother you or concern you as a more Sony-driven gamer. Not to say that you're a Sony populist or elitist, but you tend to, Sony is what really sparks and pushes and drives your game and desires. They fulfill your itch, and so they scratch your itch. Well, Nintendo scratches my itch, and a lot of times I find myself scratching my head like Nintendo has some powerful IPs that should be mainstays, should be guarantees each time they make a system. And I think Kid Icarus is one of the titles that they have just horrifically and egregiously overlooked. I mean, it has every element you would want. It has what Zelda has. It has the storyline can be definitely great. It can like looking at Horizon Zero Dawn, Born Arrow. Okay, that's one thing. Pitt has, that's his main weapon. So first, let me ask this, and I don't know how familiar you are with Nintendo's portfolio IPs. Do you personally feel like Nintendo wastes or is wasting great titles and letting them go gather dust while they heavily lean on a few titles, in my opinion, but I ain't gonna say this has to be your opinion, too much? The floor is yours, buddy.
Yeah. So I've said for a long time that I think Nintendo's kind of lead on their regular IPs, as in Mario's and Mario, Zelda, Metroid to an extent, and some of the major IPs, Luigi when he comes out, his little mansion, Wario, and stuff like that, and not really, ventured out some of the other IPs that they have to actually, show something that a person who's not a Nintendo fan would want to play. Definitely, if they had, something like that felt like not Metroid, but like Horizon Zero Dawn on the system beforehand, maybe would have been got a Switch before that. As I said, the Zelda was the main reason why I wanted to jump ship on this one. But if they would have had something similar to that, using maybe a Kid Icarus and one of their other IPs, maybe that would have been a reason to switch even before. So I definitely think that they've kind of set on their laurels when it comes to the different IPs that they have available to them and that they can use, because they have a huge backlog of IPs and games that they can leverage. But it does seem to tend to lean that they lean just on a couple, and that's kind of what you get, and you get variations of that recipe for years to come.
Yeah.
When it comes to each. So I would say, yeah, but I'm not versed enough to know which IPs they could use to leverage, because as I've said before, I'm not the biggest fan, and I don't know the backlog of Nintendo games that's out there. I just know that there is a lot of stuff out there that they have, but I don't know what they have ownership on, what they don't.
Right. Well, the one I'm naming, like, I know a lot of people ask for the Star Foxes, the F-Zeros, the mother JRPG. I think it was Mother 3 was one of the type of Mother, that series made by, I think it was actually made by the one who passed. What was his name?
Miyamoto.
Not Miyamoto, the former president of Nintendo. That's crazy. That's skipped my head, all these different Japanese names. Okay. Anyway, don't count it to my heart. I can't think of his name right now. That's crazy.
I can't help you, brother. Sorry about that.
Somebody save me in his freaking live chat.
I can't. I am not the one to help you.
Thank you.
Iwata.
Oh, Iwata. There it is. All right. Sorry, I couldn't think of it, man. But he made that title. But to me, you got Tropics. What is that game? Nia always saying it. The video game her.
Yeah.
Is some Tropic.
Yeah.
Anyway, you know what I'm talking about. So they always ask for those. But to me, the one title that I think Nintendo and I want, Keith was like, man, you must be really fiending for a Kid Icarus. Yes, I am, because I have a strategy. I have a plan. See, Breath of the Wild, I talked about it in a video, and I know a lot of folks ain't watching because I ain't posting enough. That's my fault. But I talked about wanting Kid Icarus, right? And who I think should work on it.
Star Topics.
Star Tropics. There you go.
They down here saving us in the comments section.
Thank you, bro. Because Keith ain't here, man.
Because Keith ain't 2K ain't here.
Yeah, they here to save me. I ain't as up on as they be, but I know a little bit. Anyway, I know what I like. I can talk what I like. The ones I ain't as familiar with, I'll be leaning on them. But anyway, we see that Aonuma has taken the Legend of Zelda franchise down an open world path, right? They broke off from the linear A, B, C, D path, meaning you had to follow this worked out path, this preordained path. Look at me using stuff you say in church. Preordained path to go to get through the game. So you got to go to this castle first. You got to go to this castle second. You got to go to this dungeon third. You got to go to this area fourth in order to get to this area to beat the game. See what I'm saying? Whereas in Breath of the Wild, you go where you want to go. So K-Bum might start at the castle. I might go to Karika Village, and I might go here next. I might go there next, and it ain't I'm not punished or held to task. I can do it however I want it, whenever I want. I don't even have to go to these places until I want. Well, that left a formula that Zelda used to play like open to a new game stepping into that space. And my thought is Kid Icarus and and Zelda kind of have the same energy. They both are action adventure titles that play on story-driven elements, action game, combat. And I think Aonuma will be the perfect person because he does Zelda so well. I think he can do Kid Icarus very well. That he should make Kid Icarus into what Zelda used to be before Breath of the Wild. So, because I feel like Kid Icarus needs his Ocarina of Time moment, if that makes any sense to you. Ocarina of Time defined the Zelda franchise. It is, when everybody talk about Zelda, Ocarina of Time always is one of the titles they bring up. They bring up other titles, A Link to the Past, but one of the primary titles and one of the best Zeldas ever made was The Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time. And I feel like Kid Icarus needs an Ocarina of Time moment. It needs a game, not Uprising. I don't feel like Uprising was that game. I think it was on the wrong platform, doing the wrong thing at the wrong time. It sold well, but being on the handheld device and having the stylus controls, while some bought into it, most did. Most did not like having to play it that way. Most did not like the artistic direction. I think they would want a more serious tone with the title. But what everybody liked is the voice acting of the game. That's one game that Nintendo actually did some quality voice acting, like what you would be familiar with, K-Bum, with games like Uncharted and Horizon Zero Dawn, Last of Us, that type of voice acting.
Right.
So, go ahead.
No, I was just agreeing with you.
Okay, so yeah, like God of War. So Kid Icarus Uprising had the voice acting intact in a way that Breath of the Wild doesn't and any other title from Nintendo doesn't. These games was fully voiced, and it had a compelling storyline. So my thing is, here is Zelda moving into this open world Witcher 3, whatever else you want to name that's in that space. Why not take Kid Icarus and let Kid Icarus take over the more linear space that Zelda used to live in, and build out a story and a game that takes over that lane, and give Kid Icarus his own Ocarina of Time moment. What do you think about that? Where this sets it up for the next two or three decades.
It makes sense, but is that on their roadmap?
It should be.
Yeah, it should be, and actually, it's two different things. Yeah, that's two different things. I mean, you would hope. I think it's more games the merrier. I mean, that's all, especially when you have new IPs and introducing people to these new IPs is what Nintendo should be doing. I mean, but also understand that in order to introduce somebody with a new IP, you need to be able to have people to develop for this new IP, and that's that's man hours and money to do all of that. And I don't know if they if they have that.
They got the man hours. They got the money.
They got the studios for it. They got the studios to create.
Yes, they got studios in abundance, man.
But then what are they creating now? Then I mean, what is being replaced?
What do you mean by what's being replaced?
So okay. So if they're gonna make a Kid Icarus game, what project comes off of what to create it?
Okay.
What do they not create to create the Kid Icarus?
Kirby's. Stop making Kirby's. Stop making. We done had enough Yoshi. Hey, instead of making a because it's rumored that we might get a remade, a revised, or remastered from ground up, Skyward Sword, this year. That's rumored. Well, don't do that.
Don't do that.
Focus. Stop making these smaller titles. Dry up the 3DS. Go ahead and start in production there. Start trying to pull and persuade all those people to come to the Switch. You're doing that with Pokemon. If you got to outsource, you got Retro Studios. We don't know what they working on. You got the other in-house studios. We don't know what they're doing. You're outsourcing and collabing with Bandai Namco for what we know right now to make the Metroid Prime 4. You can do that. Either you can outsource it and work with a company, or you can do it yourself. But money ain't the problem. They got more than enough money. It's just a desire and a want to do it. Like, I don't want another Kirby. Don't give me another Kirby game. We don't need another Kirby game. Even though I know that's cheap, quick, fast, but you can take them people off of that. Don't give us another Yoshi game. Take them people off of that. and make a game that's going to cause people heads to turn like, whoa.
But that's the thing though, is that there is security in creating the Kirby. There's security in creating the Yoshi because you kind of know the audience you're going to get and you kind of know the sales you're going to get. Bringing back some of the older IPs that people have forgotten about is a risk. That's why you get so many on the other side when you talk about Sony and Xbox. You get so many sequels because it's safer, it's easy to create that, and instead of trying to create a new IP like the Order.
But see, that's my thing, K-Bum. This ain't a new IP. No, this is
I agree with that, but you have to talk about to the audience that you're making a game for, like to. And not saying that a Nintendo audience is just kids, but just speaking to a younger audience, you are introducing this IP to an audience that doesn't know it.
But I give you that. But I would agree with that more if we was dealing with Wii U and Wii era. But with the Switch is been both have been bought by us and those a little bit younger than us. Two, looking at the sales of the games that's selling on the Switch, a game like Kid Icarus is guaranteed to sell based on what has sold.
If you can get $1 million out of arms, then you can get $1 million out of anything.
Right. So that's my thing. You have an IP, man, that's begging to get attention. It's begging to be taken serious. It's begging for a game.
I see your point.
Is begging for a game with a strong storyline. That is the one title. That is the one game that Nintendo does not have. They don't have that strong, voice-acted, heavily narrated, story-driven, third-person title. The God of War, the Horizon Zero Dawn, the Uncharted, the Last of Us. We don't have that title. We have Legend of Zelda, which
is
more. It ain't that.
It ain't that.
But this game can be that. This can be that. And that's the one title that Nintendo, I believe, with the success of the Switch and what they're doing, I believe they're going to be successful regardless if they ever make another Kid Icarus. But what I'm saying is that game to me, how I imagine it, is what would draw a you if they made it like my mind. I can see K-Bun being like, Breath of the Wild got you, like, I want to play that. If they make Kid Icarus like my imagination sees it, it won't be that you needed someone to gift you a Switch to get Breath of the Wild. K-Bun would have went and got him a Switch to play Kid Icarus. That's what I'm saying. And I can see Nintendo, they have the studios, they have the capability, they have the brains. Anuma has the creativity. We have seen it with the Twilight Princesses and other games that he has showed us that he can take on a serious tone just as well as a middle light-hearted tone. He knows how to play with emotions and all that. He don't need to just be working on The Legend of Zelda for 4 years. He should, to me, he could have both The Legend of Zelda and Kid Icarus. And when he ain't working on The Legend of Zelda, he can be working on Kid Icarus. And they can swap. 1 year we get The Legend of Zelda, then the next we get Kid Icarus, and then we don't see it for another 3-4 years. Rather than constantly doing remakes of old Zelda games, give us a new Kid Icarus. It makes all the sense to me, especially where Nintendo is now with the success of the Switch. Why not? That's where I'm at with it. Why not? I want a Kid Icarus game. I need a Kid Icarus game. I'm itching for this game. I love all the IPs that Nintendo give us. I love the Odysseys. I love the Breath of the Wild. I love the Smash Bros. I love the Mario Karts. Man, I want a Kid Icarus game. I want a Kid Icarus game in 2000 something. That's what I need, man, in my life right now.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a very compelling argument. I don't have a counter argument for you.
I'm reading some of the comments down, and I'm not saying that The Legend of Zelda doesn't. I mean, I know the remakes sell because we Legend of Zelda fans, but I guarantee you, let's just imagine. Let's say they remade and remastered Kid Icarus Uprising with HD graphics, remodeled character, reworked controllers because we don't have a stylus no more, and they brought that to the Switch. Would you? And let's say they remastered, let's say they remastered Skyward Sword. Which one would you buy if you had to pick one? I'm buying Uprising. I mean, I've been there and done that with Zelda. I got my fix on Zelda with Breath of the Wild. I don't get to play Kid Icarus very much. I mean, they do all what I'm saying, like they do with some of the Zeldas. I think Kid Icarus would sell just as well as a Zelda title would. If people are tripping off of Tropical Freeze with Donkey Kong being brought to the Switch and looking forward to buying that, could you imagine just if they just remastered Uprising, Kid Icarus Uprising with better graphics, better controls for the Switch? Oh my God. So if that would be dope, imagine a brand new from ground up Kid Icarus with a great storyline, better graphics, better controls. To me, that's a no-brainer, man. That's a freaking no-brainer.
You convinced me. I've never played the game.
It's one of Nintendo IPs that I feel like doesn't get like, it's one title that I think Nintendo could have carried no different than the Marios, the Metroids, and the Zeldas. Like, to me, Metroid ain't a great. Metroid ain't a great selling title. It's decent. It's a decent title. It ain't up there with the Marios and the Zeldas, but Metroid is that third piece of the trilogy, I would say. It's Metroid Samus is that third that third diamond in our triangle in, you know, the Triforce.
True.
But
Triforce Johnson? What was that? I'm sorry.
All right, anyway, but Kid Icarus could easily be that. You know, Kid Icarus could easily be what Metroid Prime does and move the numbers that Metroid Prime move. But I believe a game like Kid Icarus, what I'm describing, would probably move more than the Prime would, in all honesty. I really do. So I wish Nintendo, I hope Nintendo has some plans for this particular IP. I really do. I really want this. We talked about it a little bit after we saw that fan made.
Yeah, fan made one. Yeah.
Yeah, and that really got me to thinking, man. If they can take the original format for the original Kid Icarus and reimagine it, and these are kids, and they can reimagine that title the way they did, what could Nintendo do if they were trying to give Kid Icarus the type of attention that they give to a Zelda title, an Odyssey-like title?
True.
Man, that would crush. That would crush. And it ain't too many titles that I think Nintendo has that they can do stuff like that. But Kid Icarus is one of them. Maybe drop the kid off of it, just call it Icarus.
Yeah.
You know, to give it more of an adult or more mature feel, instead of calling it Kid Icarus, just call it Icarus. And give it some Icarus Blood and Moon, or Icarus like they did with Uprising, or Icarus whatever, you know. To me, I'm ranting on, but go ahead, man.
No, man. No, man. You good. I don't have too much to add to that point, because I think you've been spot on with your observation of it. And I wish I just knew a little bit more about the actual Kid Icarus game, because I can't really speak on experiences about if that is the choice, that is the game that should be picked. But definitely by hearing about what you've talked about it and how it definitely sounds like something that would be respectable for a Nintendo audience. But it's, you know, the question is, why won't Nintendo make that decision on some of their older IPs? I don't really. I mean, I've been asking that question for a while now on why don't we see more variety when it comes directly from Nintendo first parties, as in, you know, different people instead of kind of the same, like you said, the Kirby's, the Yoshi's, the DKs, and even though people look forward to them and they're big games and they sell well, but if you weren't already interested in a Donkey Kong or a Yoshi or a Kirby, a new one just doesn't tickle your fancy.
I mean, I feel like Nintendo has a good, well-rounded amount of titles. I mean, until you get up into the sports titles and all that. Like, we got the Xenoblades, we got the RPGs, we have the platformers, we have the action adventure, we have the FPS adventure. It may not be like a college.
You don't really have the first person shooters. I mean, I don't know anything.
No, that's what I said. It might not. Okay. That's why it's not like Call of Duty or Overwatch, but we do have a title that is in the family of an FPS, you know, and a well done one that shows me that they could, if they wanted to, do a first person shooter. But what I'm saying is, it's not so much that I'm concerned about Nintendo's balance of IPs and genres being fulfilled. It's more so Nintendo not utilizing their IPs and what they have at their disposal the best way that they can, in the best way. Like, to me, as much as I love Mario, if you're going to give me a Kid Icarus game over Mario, I'll accept that. Okay, if you're going to say, okay, we're going to take a break on Mario. Let's say we take a break on Mario. Not that I didn't love Odyssey. I love Odyssey. I really did. Odyssey done some amazing things. Breath of the Wild, my favorite game to date for this generation. That's PlayStation, Xbox, Nintendo. Breath of the Wild is my favorite title, right, of this generation so far, of anything PlayStation 4, Xbox One, Switch or Wii U related. Breath of the Wild is that game for me. But if Nintendo said, if Nintendo asked me, hey, Level, if we were to make a game right now and they said between Mario and Kid Icarus, which one would you rather of us make? I say Kid Icarus. Because we haven't had one in a long time. And that would give them a time to break away from Mario. They might be able to come up with something even beyond what they did in Odyssey. Because what Odyssey did was basically take everything that they ever done in Mario titles and put it all in one title. It didn't reinvent the wheel. It showed us just how great Mario has been from the NES up to this point. It paid homage to the NES. It paid homage to Galaxy. It paid homage to 64. It paid homage to a whole lot of stuff, and it just showed us just how tightly tuned and that Mario titles are. Did it break the mold? It broke some molds in some aspects. It added some things that was nuanced to Mario that we wasn't expecting. But for the most part, Mario did what Mario does. Whereas Breath of the Wild was a total absolute departure. See what I'm saying? It really broke away from the tried and true formula of Zelda. Mario didn't do that as much, but it was a great Mario game. It was a great Mario game, but it wasn't what Breath of the Wild was. So if you was to ask me, do a Kid Icarus, and let me see what you can do with what you have at your disposal, what you have access to now. Let me see what a Kid Icarus title will look like now. Yeah, take a break on Mario. Take a break on Blasphemy, Metroid Prime. Take a break. Make something else. But I'm just talking right now. But we're gonna pick this topic back up on Thursday with Keith here, because I really want to hear what Keith got to say. Because I know K-Bum is basically just a spectator to my event right now. So I'm gonna table this conversation because I need some feedback. I know the comment section is lit up, but I feel like we approaching our end. Do you got anything else you want to talk about, bro, before we get out of here? I know you muted if you talking.
My bad. I was talking. I apologize for that, man. That was something else I wanted to state, but I think throughout the conversation I kind of lost what I was trying to get. So I'm not as of right now. I know I don't have anything else. Just make sure you guys go out there and check out the movie. Pretty much.
Yeah, I apologize for my small little rant, man, but I'm serious, bro. I feel like it's time for Nintendo to go into they treasure chest, they safe, and walk in there and just start walking through Star Tropics. We need to pull that back out. Kid Icarus, we need to pull that back out. They need to start going through and picking out maybe one or two titles and throw Zelda, Mario level budgets at them and see how it lands. Because you will never know until you do it. You will never know. So until Thursday, I want y'all to hit me up, whether it's Twitter, whether it's on this podcast in the comment section. I want y'all to listen to what we said, because we're going to start off Thursday, because I know Keith will be there then, because I know I caught him off guard today. Thursday, we're going to start off with this topic.
For sure.
Is it time for Nintendo to go deeper into their treasure chest of IPs? We know we want new IPs, but I don't even think Nintendo needs to create any new IPs. They have enough IPs that they ain't messing with that can be brought to the forefront and become a new IP. Because a lot, like K-Bone, like you were saying, a lot of people are not familiar with Kid Icarus. We only have 2 games. And the last one we had a lot of mixed emotions about it, mixed feelings on it. So, and I think it was mixed because the direction that Nintendo chose to go might have just been a very That's an unwise way to go with. I think they should have done the whole style and stuff. But anyway, that's me. But anyway, with that being said, we won't end this. We won't take this much longer. Make sure you go see Black Panther this weekend. If you go on Thursday, bro, we ain't gonna have you on the podcast.
No, I'm not gonna be on a Thursday, so you can you guys can have at your little Nintendo conversation all you want.
Black Panther junkie. That's what you are, bro.
Yeah, I'm a be there with my dashiki. So I'll be there.
So this Thursday is an all Nintendo focused podcast. So we gonna talk about this because I'm serious, man. I think it's time, man. I don't think we talk about this as Nintendo fans enough. I love Mario. I love Zelda. I love Metroid Prime. I love Star Fox. I mean, not Star Fox, but Smash Bros, the Mario Karts. But to me, there are some IPs, bro, that can rival, that Nintendo can turn into, that can be the Horizons and the God of Wars and all that. They can have their very own with IPs that they already got. I remember Nia always talking about Star Tropics can be what Uncharted is for Nintendo. They can turn them games into that. It can be that. It has all the elements there to be that. I don't understand why Nintendo is not, and it's IPs that Sony is not using, like Siphon Filter. Like, there's a lot of great IPs that should see the light of day that don't get the light of day, man. But anyway, I opened up a can of worms. I need to push back in this can to Thursday. But it's going to be an all podcast Thursday. No Sony talk. No Microsoft talk. Straight Nintendo. Straight
Nintendo.
Straight Nintendo. And hopefully in a couple of weeks we'll be getting up with Jedi Knight. Talk to him. He on vacation, so once he come off vacation, he said he gonna jump back on. So we might do another Sunday podcast. But anyway, folks, this is the Live and Level Gamer podcast. About to sign out. K-Bump.
Yeah, for sure. Yo, again, it's K-Bump 20, man. Enjoy the little podcast. Even enjoy Levelhead, little Nintendo rant about it. But I guess just word to the people, man. Enjoy, play your games, enjoy your gaming. Don't let this gaming stuff get too serious, man. Just have fun. Like I said, man, we're grown men. For some of us playing kids' toys, man. So let's just enjoy ourselves and quit all the set tripping when it comes to systems and just enjoy what you play, man. Pretty much.
Yeah, it's not set tripping. Anyway, till next time, folks. Deuces. Man, I'll be calling you that night to hear what you think about.
Yeah, I'll be down. Just let me know.
What time you going? What time does your
8
show start?
8 o'clock.
You old junkie. You would have that. Anyway, I'm gonna call you. I'm gonna call you in the middle of the podcast. I'm gonna keep blowing. You better turn your phone off.
For sure, I'm down.
Deuces.